All right, here we go. Um, this is kind of a real basic teaching of an Origami Gospel. It's a paper airplane, if you will, of what does it look like to present a gospel. And so you can do this in a number of ways. It's just your 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. You can use a different size paper too, if you will. But the initial fold is important. And as you begin to do this presentation and you get it down, talk less about the fold, but what I like to do is actually have other people walk through this with me. And so it's an opportunity to teach them not only the truths, but they are then walking through how to present it to the next person, because one of the things that happens here is that they think it's cool and they're going to show someone else. And so no matter what your setting is, take your time and walk someone else through, have them grab a piece of paper and do this as well. And so a number of things that you can start to highlight is like, okay, it looks like a home, and this fold is important. You can also just leave the fold here and here. So there's two different ways to do this, but I like to make the house folded in on itself, and so there's a thought of security and what does that look like in a home that is really all-consuming. This is our identity, like what makes us up, who are we as a people. And so from home, you just like, what you're doing is you're making an airplane, a little paper airplane that you made like this, and you fold down a leaf on each side, and you grab this little triangle as well. And then you do the opposite, just like a paper airplane. Not a unique paper airplane, granted, but that's important. I often tell people, you're just flying through life. And what does that look like? It looks a little different from individual to individual. If you got little kids, you want to craft for a while, you can paint and color this thing up. And what are those things that interest you? What are your hobbies? What are those career fields, whatever that might interest you? And you could even, throw it, see if it works, whatever, it's your airplane. But somewhere along the line, we're confronted. Maybe you went to a funeral, maybe you've seen someone speak, and you're confronted about like worldviews and how does that match up, and does it match up with mine? Or do I even line up with my parents or my friends? And it's like there seems to be this polarization of some sort, and it tears us. It confronts us of what are true beliefs. What am I invested in the long haul? And so from a Christian worldview, from someone that thinks Christ was not only historical, but also that he had something to say, is just like, what was he here on earth for? And so there's all these pieces to a puzzle, and it's somewhat a mystery to us as we try to figure out, what was this? Was he just a good teacher? Was he a prophet? Who was this Jesus? And Jesus himself said that he came to show us a kingdom, one that was more than just the economy, the kingdoms of this world. And so he showed us what that was like. Otherwise, if we decide to live in our own kingdoms and our own man-made best, then our hobbies, we find that they sort of implode on us, and they're not what we thought they were going to be. And there's sort of even a hell on earth, right? Like, and even the best of us, those that have fame or money or glory, whatever that is, they find, there's still this emptiness, there's this void, and I'm even in my selfishness and my egocentric thing, it just leads me to this place of hell. But Christ, there's the paper trick, the origami, but Christ, he came to destroy, to defeat, to take care of this hell. And he came to give us life, to bring it more abundant, right? And so that's much of the Christ story so often in salvation, in trying to win someone to Jesus, to just make them have a commitment, which sometimes is short-lived, right? He says, no, Jesus came that we might have life, and life to the abundant even now. sheep came to steal, kill, and destroy, but Christ came that we might have life. And then once we realize this new identity in Him, that it's not just based on my own selfish desires and cravings, but that Christ came to help us to flip that on its end for His kingdom's sake, to give us life, that He then just calls us to be the what's? To be the to be the light of the world. Like, this is our calling. To be a city on a hill, to not lose our saltiness, but to be the light. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. And I am the light of the world. And so this is the origami, paper plane version of the gospel.